got back from The Killing Joke, and wow, was that weird. For those of you who are unaware, just a quick bit of background here. Killing Joke was a pretty fucking famous graphic novel by the famed Allan that came out back in 1988. It's a pretty short graphic novel, totaling around 50 pages, so maybe it shouldn't have been too much of a surprise that turning a 50-page graphic novel into a full-length movie might not have been the best idea. Another thing to note is that one of the biggest complaints about The Killing Joke is, spoilers! When Batgirl gets shot and paralyzed, she is very clearly objectified to act as an emotional token for the main male characters, Jim Gordon and Batman. A bunch of people have cried misogyny over this, but most people don't really care at all and still think The Killing Joke is a kick-ass graphic novel. Whatever your stance on the issue is, the point is that it's an ongoing debate about the novel. And apparently, the creators of this adaptation took those complaints to heart and or saw it as a possible way to fix their whole, this is only a 50-page graphic novel and we have to make a whole goddamn movie. Whatever their thought process may have been, the end result is that the first 30 or so minutes of this 76-minute film are centered entirely around Batgirl. Now, remember, this is supposed to be a story about the Joker and Batman, not Batgirl. And when I say the first 30 minutes, I mean the entire first 30 minutes. You see, there's this little subplot surrounding Batgirl being sexually harassed / stalked by a serial killer. It's a trivial piece of garbage where Batgirl acts like an impulsive teenager. She literally has angry emotional sex with Batman and then quits being Batgirl after getting too angry and nearly beating a guy to death. It proved to be far more offensive towards women than the original adaptation ever was. What's even worse is that this entire tangential story proves to be literally that. The remaining 46 minutes of this film are a near shot-for-shot adaptation of the original graphic novel, which is great, but that means this whole weird arc I just watched Batgirl go through had fuck all to do with anything in The Killing Joke. They really shit the bed on this one. If they had just released a short movie instead of this, it would have been a far better film. A movie is always the whole product, and because just under half of this movie has nothing to do with the actual film, it's a bad film. Beyond just the Batgirl thing, there's a few other weird bits, like a speech from Mark Hamill about his career and a behind-the-scenes music video. It just really felt like there wasn't enough core content to make a movie, but they tried to do it anyway. The odds and ends that this thing is filled out with are so poorly made, it's impossible to ignore. Even though the core content is well made, it isn't good enough to redeem the rest of this experience. If you're interested in watching this film in the future, wait until it comes out on DVD, then skip till they get to the asylum, where the graphic novel starts. If you watch the movie from there, it's a solid 8 out of 10. They honor the graphic novel perfectly, retelling it in a new medium with elegance. However, if you watch the whole thing, it's a train wreck of a movie that's stitched together with pandering nonsense and sexist bullshit. Come on, guys, what the hell? So that was The Killing Joke. I mean, I came out of the theater pretty disappointed. Jamie, you got any thoughts?
You know, I haven't read the source material, and I haven't seen this movie, and I hear it's a hot button topic, so I'm gonna step off. For the first time, we have Jess.
Hi. I kind of dragged Nick to this film because I really wanted to see it. I was extraordinarily excited to hear that Mark Hamill was once again coming out to do the Joker. And was just really excited because I'm a huge Alan Moore fan. Ever since I read From Hell in the 8th grade, I've just kind of been hooked on the man. He does great fucking comic books and graphic novels. But that first 20 minutes is atrocious. You, as somebody who constantly looks for empowering female role models in graphic novels and in just comic book literature in general, that was awful. She acted pretty much like a whiny 15-year-old girl that whole 25 minutes, and it really gave lackluster to the rest of the film. However, love Mark Hamill, cinematography was great, music was excellent. I noticed that Nick didn't touch on that.
Yeah.
I would personally I'd probably give it a solid 5. I wouldn't be as harsh as 4.5. However, it was...
So if I could cut you off there, it's really sounding to me like they had structured a lot of story on giving weight to Batgirl and what, Barbara is her name? Barbara Gordon? Yeah, and it sounds like they didn't really build much of a structure for that. They just made a lot of groundwork.
No, there were two separate stories there, and I mean, the cinematography and the music wasn't bad. It didn't impress me as much, but I don't have that same nostalgic feel that some other people might have.
Definitely Mask of the Phantasm feel, for sure.
Like, I've seen it, but not as adamantly as some others.
Do you guys have a question you'd like to ask the millions at home?
Just, what did you guys think of this? Could you get past that first 20 minutes, or did it kill the movie for you like it killed it for us? I mean, what do you think? As always, if you liked what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe below. See you guys. Bye.
And if you haven't read the comic book, I highly recommend it. Alan Moore, get it at your local comic book store. Don't go to chains.